Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 222, released April 1981. Our price, 90 cents, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, please let me remind you, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That's the best way that you can support this channel, and we're trying to make it grow. So whether you are the first time viewer or you've been here many times before, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. And also leave a comment down below. If you can hear my neighbors yapping, please make sure, leave a comment, give them a phone call, tell them please, please, please quiet down. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Link is down in the description. What can you get from me? You give me any amount of money and I'll send you some stickers. I can also give you some cool stencils, great for defacing public and private property, buttons, and I think that's it. That's it. Sometimes I do special things for Patreon supporters like this. Create a nice little lino print of Flip the Bird. So that's it, though. That's it. Let's move on. Oh, these are the people that I get to thank for their support now. Joey Gesso, Reflection of Perfection, Misimo, Tom Richmond, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Meadsbury, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. And with that, let's get into this. And where am I? Here I am. Mad Magazine. This is like number 222. This is one of the most iconic covers, I think. It's wonderful. It's a photograph by Irving Schild. Who did this painting? Probably Norman Mingo. I'm going to check Mad cover site. Yeah, Norman Mingo is the cover artist. Person who wrote this concept, Don Edwing. Yes, indeed. I love everything about this. I love the painting. I love the spilled coffee on it. I love the lettering right here. Salutes the coffee break. Beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Here we go. One of the most iconic suicide ads. I feel so lucky. 2 weeks in a row, we get a suicide ad. Why Kill Yourself? This is by Jack Davis. And look at this. There's so much going on. But of course, the best part is this hillbilly in front of a railroad track. But instead of laying on the tracks, he has tied a hatchet to the crossing arm. And it's just a slow, probably ineffective decapitation that is about to occur. Anyway, let's keep moving on from that. Here we have some celebrity pictures. So Boss Hogg wrote a letter in and sent a photo with the Duke boys. Look at, there's the Duke boys, there's Daisy Duke, and here's Jack Klugman. I don't know Jack Klugman. I have no idea who that is. I'm sure maybe if I did a little bit of reading, I would learn. But longtime viewers, you guys know I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to subject myself to any amount of reading. Never, never, never. Here we have Undressed to Kill. And who did this? Arnie Kogan and Mort Drucker did this. And a fun fact, this is actually this part right here. This little scene was part of the Potter ZB podcast super special live stream that we did. Here we have what's his face? Michael Kide. Hello, Michael Kide. And I notice that you are indeed dressed to kill. Yes, that is right. I'm in trouble. I feel a certain lack of passion and emptiness. In your sex life? No, in your performance. I'm playing a doctor. A doctor is supposed to be objective, cold, and unemotional. I know, but what about the other roles you've played in other movies? He famously he was in, was it Jaws 3? And somebody asked him, and they said, hey, have you ever seen Jaws 3? And he said, no, but I saw the house that it bought, and that is very nice indeed. Anyway, Undressed to Kill. Have you ever seen this movie? I haven't. I feel like it's hard to appreciate these movie and TV parodies when you have zero experience with the movie or television show that it is parodying. Yeah. And here we have some Don Martin Department. Let's zoom in on this. I feel like I don't go panel by panel with old Don very often. Early one morning in a hotel room. Vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom. Whisk, whisk. Flask. Whisk, whisk. That's cute. That's a cute one. And here we have now playing at the White House. So this, when did this come out? 1981. So yeah, Ronald Reagan is in office. I mean, obviously it's all about him, and it's talking about the White House. And I mean, like, typically, you guys know, I'm not a big fan of like the captions of photos. I feel like it always falls flat. And I don't know, I mean, I am a little bit amused by this just because it's Ronald Reagan. I know, I promised you Secretary of State, but Supreme Court is a nice place too. Is this Bedtime for Bonzo? How many monkey movies was the Gipper? Is that the Gipper? How many monkey movies was he in? Was it just Bedtime for Bonzo? I don't know. I feel like that's something that I should know. Okay, I did a quick internet search, and it turns out if you look up, if you Google Ronald Reagan monkey movies, Bedtime for Bonzo, it's the only one that shows up. Ugh. Sorry. It's not good television to drink on air. We'll always be suckers for clever advertising. A fun advertising one, art by Jack Rickard. Let's zoom in on this. We'll always be suckers for clever advertising because inventions to buy one, get the second one free sound so appealing, we quickly forget we can't even use one. Or you can't use a KISS totem pole? What the heck? Because we're already inside the dealer's showroom with our tongues hanging out before we realize that $3,899 cars really cost over $6,000 by the time wheels, windows, and other optional equipment are added. And now you get it. It's like, it's even worse now. It's a lot worse, actually. Well, we'll always be suckers for advertising because they deviously bunch items up. Bunch items of different prices together, hoping we'll think the one we want is cheap. Fine timepieces, $21 and up. Because a TV announcer with a British accent has a way of making even worthless trash sound like high-quality merchandise. Hello. Now, how do you even do a British accent? I've forgotten. Domestic rayon single knit. Get your domestic rayon single knit, single-breasted waistcoat today. It's the problem with trying to do a Michael Caine impression is that then you can only do the British accent as Michael Caine. Here we have Spy versus Spy. And this is lovely. Look at this. Classic. Oh, he's booby-trapping the whatchamacallit. What is that called? A cannon? That's rough. Here we have the lighter side of. Okay, should I do one? All right. Okay, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do one, the medicine one. I don't normally do this. I don't like to encourage Dave Berg or his supporters. I come to these parties to forget my problems of being a doctor, and what happens? Guests keep coming up to me for free medical advice, but I've got my way of discouraging that. Really? Here comes Lola Palooza with that look in her eye. Let's see how you handle her. And doctor, I've got this sharp pain in my side. What does it mean? I don't know. I'll have to examine you first. Take off all of your clothes. Okay. That's like, I did like that one. How about Child's Play? I'm home. Where's Peggy? She's down the basement with Tommy. They're playing doctor. Not in my house, they're not. I better get down there and put a stop to it. Golf? What kind of doctor playing is that? Today is Wednesday. Okay, that's like, even that's medicine. Anyway, I've had enough. I've had enough of Berg. Here we have sort of a classic trope when it comes to mad writing. What television says and what it really means. Like, they do that a lot. Like, when parents say this, they really mean that. When TV says this, they really mean that. When doctors say this, they really mean that. When, I don't know, the advertiser says this, they really mean that. That's like the typical thing. But let's check this out, because after all, it is some Jack Davis artwork. So we won't be it won't be a total letdown. When television says, watch Me and the Baboon at its convenient new time, 8 p.m. on Monday nights, it really means, since adults obviously won't sit through this clinker at 10 o'clock, we're going to try our luck with dumb little kids 2 hours earlier. That's probably true. When television says presentation of the Oshkosh Symphony on public television is made possible with a grant by the XU Oil Company, it really means the robber barons at XU Oil are anxious to shake their image as a bunch of money-grubbing bloodsuckers by associating themselves with culture. They hope you won't curse them quite so much the next time you pull into one of their stations to get cheated. Ooh, when television says, coming up next on ABC, Mork and Mindy, what did he always say? Like, womp womp, zerby zerby, or something goofy like that. It really means Mork and Mindy is the next thing coming up that we've considered entertainment. But first, there's the closing commercials for the show, then 4 network commercials, and 2 local ads with the station break. So actually, there's nothing worth seeing for the next 6 minutes. And finally, another television show. When the television says, see the all-new Mary Tyler Moore Show premiering tonight, it really means the principal thing about this show that's all new is the fact that none of the talented performers who made Mary's previous show such a huge success will be appearing in this one. Is the all-new Mary Tyler Moore Show different than Mary Tyler Moore? Is Mary Tyler Moore a character or an actress? All I know is that there's a Minnesota connection with Mary Tyler Moore, and we have a Mary Tyler Moore statue with her throwing her hat up. I think Mary Tyler Moore took place in Minneapolis, though it was not filmed there. If you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, you know that anytime anything associated with Minnesota happens, I must make a comment about it, whether something was filmed here, took place here, or if somebody lived here. A mad look at some not so famous last words. This is interesting because when I processed this visually as Paul Peter Porges, but it's not. It is a Harry North artistry. And then it's written though by Paul Peter Porges. But there's something about the illustrations, especially like these really lanky people, that reads Paul Peter Porges. So I don't know if that was intentional or not. Famous last words. Here's this. Hey man, give me more juice. And I try to say, I think this shows like a fundamental misunderstanding of how an electric guitar works. You're not plugged into the electrical system in that way. Wait, I'll flick my Bic. Big Al, this is Eddie. About that loan, sorry, but I can't and won't pay it back. How does a Polak flush a toilet? That's something like Polacks. You can't make Polak jokes anymore. I don't know. You can make Polak jokes, just nobody does, and I feel like we've lost something as a culture. I demand to see an American representative. Is it true that the fight was fixed, champ? Now, I feel like boxing in particular, they talk about fixed fights. Are there any famous fixed fights that like were for sure fixed. And from a double axle into a zit spin. Don't worry, I can smell a cop a mile away. These illustrations are so great, just like this one. I love this one. Local authorities have warned us of the danger of coming into this area, but we insisted on bringing you live. This is me right here. I love fireworks. Cool it, I've handled firecrackers since I was 3 years old. Nah, small craft warnings are for sissies. All right, then we have another Don Martin, late one afternoon on an interstate highway. So hit pause, read that one. Very good. Do not ride on shoulders. Jeez Louise. A collection of 18 mad excuses that teachers might just buy when they ask, why didn't you do your homework? Paul Coker doing the artwork. John Ficarra writing. You're too depressed by the latest death of a famous rock star. You had to register for the draft. Don't try this excuse if you go to an all-girls school, idiot. You had to attend your weekly Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. You went into one of those 24-hour banking centers and wound up getting locked in the place all night. You had to be in court to testify in the custody battle over your parents are having over you and your brothers. Do you guys remember that? Like where I was at, it used to be to get to the ATM, like especially ones at banks, they would be behind doors. And what you would have to do is I'd have to take my bank card and insert it, and that would unlock the door, and then I could go in, beep, boop, 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 get my cash out, and I could leave. Now they're just on the front of banks. Now you can just access them at any time and any place. Rhyming ads. I feel like I'm ripping through this. Because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking about every single one. I got to look at my notes, though. There's like 2 more that I have to talk about. And we're at 17 minutes, so maybe I will. Oh, no, I'm going to talk about that one in a second. Let's look at one of these rhyming ads. Ever since the old Burma shave signs dotted our nation's highways, rhymes have helped sell products. As someone once said, quite possibly the writer of this article, it's tough forgetting a rhyme, no matter how rotten it is. Well, we think it's time Madison Avenue got back into verse again and started filling newspapers, magazines, TV screens, and billboard signs with something like these mad examples of rhyming ads. Do you know me? Not many do. I'm easily forgettable. In Washington, I'm lost in crowds, which surely is regrettable. I'm sent on lots of nothing trips. They're good for looking busy. But gosh, no matter where I go, the natives ask, who is he? I hate it when they see my face and scratch their heads and guess, and that is why my credit card's American Express. I don't leave home without my card. That's why I never sweat it. I'm glad my name is printed there, or else I might forget it. Walter Mondale. And guess where Walter Mondale's from? You guessed it, Minnesota. I wish I could say that I did that on purpose. I did not. Completely by chance, I picked the guy from Minnesota. Oop. Here we have Hertz. Let's zoom in on Hertz. That's a short one. Endorsing cars from Hertz. I know I'm running with the best. I've never let my name be used with Avis or the rest. For Hertz, you see, is number one, as anybody knows, which can't be said for any team I've played for in the pros. Hertz, number one rent-a-car. Please tell me that that is Orenthal James Simpson. Please leave it in the comments if that is who they're talking about. That would be amazing. And the 2 best parts of this are accidental. And then here we go. I wanted to look at this one too, which brings us to that day, not in the not too far off, when either by design or by accident we look down the road and see in the distance this, the ultimate rhyming ad. Treat your cat to Miller Lite. Clorox bleach gets dentures bright. Turtle wax stops jock itch fast. Tootsie Rolls are built to last. Cuddy Sark protects your car. Levi's give you lower tar. Banish Gray with roll-on ban. Keds now in a 6-ounce can. Chevy's got a lighter smoke. Cleaner people bathe with Coke. Schlitz for those who watch their weight. X-Lax makes the going great. That's some really good work. That's Frank Jacobs. Surely this is Frank Jacobs' work. And yes, it is Frank Jacobs. Lovely, lovely work. And here we have a mad look at air travel. The last week, I looked at a mad look at, what was it? A mad look at superheroes, I think. And I was talking about how it's kind of fun to look at all of the mad look ats because they change over time, and you see like things like this starting to be included, which eventually becomes like the whole title is part of the comic, and there's like little people and jokes hidden in that. With this, he still has the numbered panels for each one. They're also a lot bigger, but also a lot more varied throughout it. And eventually, he gets to a point where every panel is basically the same size. Some are 3, some are 4, some are stretched all the way across both pages, but it's a little bit more uniform and predictable. But it's great. It's really cool to see this. One of my favorite ones, though, is a one panel one that is not even on this one. I'm gonna look at this. It's on the next page, I think. Yes, it is. It's the very last one. This one is great. Hey, I need to use the bathroom. Oh yeah, it's just right there in the back. And this lumbering oaf goes there, and oh, he opened the back door. I'm going to stay zoomed in because what I really like about this one is how he shows you like where to focus on. Kyle Bridget told me with like laying out artwork and stuff, our eyes are lazy, and so using like whites and blacks helps bring your attention. So boom, I noticed this guitar crunched up right away. And then what's the other thing you notice? This guy who's wearing a black shirt. Everybody else is wearing just blank white shirts, so they're kind of, your focus isn't so much on them, even though there is like some fun stuff to look at. Crunched up guitar is black, and the man is wearing black, and it's just like has so much more drawn in on him, so your eye is drawn to that. Anyway, I thought that was like a really, really cool example of that, of how to draw the eye in. And it's one of those things that makes him just so amazing. And that's it. That's here we have That's Real Incredible, people, and it's some beautiful artwork by whom? Is this Angelo Torres? Yes, it is. Angelo Torres drawing some babes. That's pretty cool. But again, I don't know what this is. Who's this guy? I don't want to guess because I might be offensive. Late one night in the bank, Don Martin Department, Part 3. Then we have this lovely, lovely fold-in. And this is like kind of cool because it's snappy answers. Snappy answers to stupid questions. Mother Goose, fold-in. Did you get scratched and hurt when you fell off the wall? No, I am fully assembled when cracked in two. Will your ego suffer from this awful experience? No, a couple of busted legs make my spirit sore. Would you like to be put back together again? No, I'm happier when I'm spread all over the place. Goody. I just love scrambled eggs. That's certainly what it says. You know what I'm going to do? I just had this thought. I should get a piece of paper that's like the exact width of this so that when they're not folded, I can just hold it up. Look, you can kind of get the thing here. Look at scrambled eggs. I'm a smart boy. Here we have the MAD storytelling U.S. postage stamps. I don't get this, guys. Please explain it in the comments. Masters and Johnson state horny writers cook up wild books. I don't know what it means. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Mad Magazine number 222. Remember, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.